this study that I summarized about, and I titled it "Study Suggests Conflict Resolution Training is Key to Promoting Employee Productivity." And the questions here are asking what the effect of workplace conflict is on productivity, and then what are the solutions for employee retention and productivity when workplace conflict occurs. And the study was conducted, it was more so of a literature review looking over past studies on productivity and workplace conflict. And they examined 15 and other resources, 15 studies and other resources on the relationship. And they gave suggestions based on the data found for dealing with workplace conflict in ways that would not negatively affect productivity. And the results here are that unmanaged conflict can impact the workplace in various ways, including decreased productivity. They also made a point to show the importance of how biased resolution of workplace conflict can lead to employee dissatisfaction, which can lead to these negative outcomes like productivity loss, greater absenteeism, and overall loss of company profit. So they really advocated for, this is something that they reiterated a couple times, which makes me think, and I kind of took this to mean like seeing the benefit of having a neutral party available, which I thought was cool. The authors also noted a couple other negative consequences of unmanaged or poorly managed conflict, including harm to the company's reputation, greater turnover due to poor communication standards. And they also mentioned, how workplace conflict creates stress and tension among employees, which is kind of typically the reason, or one of the reasons behind why productivity and efficiency is limited and with unmanaged workplace conflict. And the suggestions that they made based on these findings were that, for one, people should set HR policies that help prevent and productively manage workplace conflict to help minimize its potential negative effects. When conflict does occur, it's important to resolve it quickly without biased outcomes, which is where a neutral party can come in, or consultant. And then employees should be given conflict management and conflict resolution training in order to show them how to effectively deal with workplace conflict. And so kind of the consultant takeaway that I kind of brought about here was that just the importance of impartial third parties in helping resolve conflict. And that's exactly what conflict resolution consultants can be in many cases. And so, I just think shows the benefit of that people don't always realize that, neutral third parties can resolve conflict sometimes better because they're neutral than maybe someone internally. And so, and this study is kind of an example of that. So yeah, that's what we have.
Do you have the actual study that you can pull up that you can share? The actual paper? I'm just because I just want to kind of see some of the numbers. I mean, did they do some quantitative analysis, or was it mostly kind of qualitative, or?
Yeah, it was just, it's more of a literature review. So they're really just going back through.
But they're looking at other studies, and they're showing.
They are. It was very, yeah, I'll pull it up for you.
What actually comes up for me when reading this, it's pretty straightforward, right? It validates the work that we do. Great to see research like that. But what comes to my mind is two of our most recent clients, for training purposes, for conflict resolution training, actually came to us because they sent out an employee organizational wide survey to gauge like what was needed, and it, a very high percentage, like 80+% of the staff chose that they wanted more assistance in conflict resolution techniques and tools. So just goes to show that, like, even, and again, that's like what was arising for me reading this. And I think it's another takeaway that companies need to do surveys like that, or engage with their staff or with their employees to be able to really know what is needed, right?
Yeah. It's worth spending money on, like, the real training, like actual training, and not just some, kind of superficial online, pre-recorded video or something like that, like real training that helps them understand techniques.
Yeah, that's more practical and interactive.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so this is the study.
Oh, yep. You can see it. Good. This is it. It really was more of a summary of these things. It wasn't too in detail, I would say.
Culture. Okay, so I got you. So it was very quick summary. It was kind of summarizing just a bunch of different other studies. It wasn't kind of showing the results and stuff like that, really.
Yeah, not too specific. No.
Okay. So based on the lit review, though, they were coming to those conclusions. Okay.
Yeah, they had all these.
There was some. I was wondering if there was some like interesting numbers we could put onto our conflict statistics page, but it doesn't seem like there's any statistics here.
Yeah, no. Maybe I could look through maybe some of these references. Maybe they'd have some things, but yeah, they're not in this study.
I came across some literature yesterday about specifically focusing on miscommunication in the workplace. And I was like a quantum survey I thought it was really interesting, the questions that they asked, but overall it just showed like 81%, I think it was, of conflict in the workplace stems from miscommunications. And it was like, 90 something percent said that it occurs very frequently. I wrote also most of them. This was interesting. It was like 51 or 53% said that they're almost never involved in the miscommunication. And it was interesting because then they thought, well, what about the other 50%? How does that make sense if 80% of people say that conflict happens so frequently, but only 50 are admitting that they're part of it, or that they're directly involved, and then like who the responsible party is, because they kind of also asked a question regarding like, is it all employees, like certain departments, supervisors or managers, like where that comes from. So I want to find that study too, because I felt like it asked the right questions, right, in order to figure out what is happening within the organization, and again, just
Was
like
the
high numbers.
Was it a recent study?
No, it was from like 2000. I think it's 2006 or something. Early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the verge at just pulling the trigger in terms of the cost of it, but I'm on the verge of I want to do this, like I want to recruit like 1,000 people if possible to do this study.